In the latest Wedding Wave patch, you can buy the newest 4-star characters Youhu using 80 coral currency. Now, this is something I want to talk about today. Is this worth doing at all? Should you be just pulling on the banner instead? Or should you avoid the banner because you're scared of like ruining your pity and just buying her straight up? That's what we were going to cover. But first, I want to talk about why I'm an anime girl. It's because I've been working on my VTuber, which is this. So check it out. Youhu is a pretty funny character. Honestly, her personality is pretty fun. She's like so silly, and I think she's a great character to collect if you're looking for the purpose of collecting every character in the game. She has a overall pretty fun playstyle. So the way it works is like when you hold down your attack, you get this like roulette wheel, and you can pull like a random gadget. And your main goal here is to get 4 of a kind, which lets you do like massive damage. But otherwise, going for a triplet or a pair will work too. Right? Some of her attack, like her intro skills or her resonance skills, will allow you to like immediately get a gadget. And here I got a pair, so I'm able to do like 75% bonus damage. But the main trick is that once you have 3 symbols, you want to cast your ult at the very end. So because now I can guarantee any symbol I want. I'm gonna go for the spoon here. This is really a spoon, right? Okay. And that's my triplet. And now I can do like way more damage. So you always want to use your ult at the very end. Right, and then you just hold your left click again to do this really funny looking attack and stuff like that. And yeah, that's her main playstyle. She's really fun, she's really funny. On top of that, I think her design and personality are great. If you're not close to pity at all and you have some asteroid to spare, I actually highly recommend first pulling on the banner to see if you can just do like a 10 pull, do like a 20 pull, see if you can get lucky and get the 4-star character Youhu. Especially if you don't already have Jian. If you don't have Jian, and you get like an early 5-star and you got a Jian, then I think that's a great thing. You got like a really early 5 stars and it's a solid characters. The most importantly is that the other 2 4-star characters are extremely good with extremely good sequence. Those being Sanhua as well as Morphe. Morphe sequence 4, very good one, extended by 7 seconds. And most importantly, of course, Morphe sequence 6 increase attack for your entire team for 20%, which means it will go to buffing your Jian. The same go with Sanhua. Sanhua Resolution 5 is extremely good. Sequence 5 is extremely good. Increase your critical damage by 100% for your ice burst, and it explode even if they're not properly detonated. So you can just like quick swap. The way I play Lin Yang is like I do the Sanhua EQ and then I swap out, and they'll still explode. I don't have to do that mini game combo. Of course, same go with Sanhua Sequence 6, where it increases your entire team attack by 20%. It does it twice because the Ice Prism as well as the Glacier, so it's 20% just like Morphe for your entire team. And that could go really well for characters like, well, any character you pair of Sanhua, whether that be Encore or of course my favorite, Lin Yang. One of the major mistakes I see a lot of people making is that they're like, oh, Youhu is 80 coral, so 80 coral is like a 10 pull, right? Spending 10 pull on a new 4-star character to collect is not that bad. But here's the thing, that's not true, because you can buy 5 cost sequence with 270 coral, assuming they're the standard banner, or for limited banners, 360, which is about like 45 pull if you go with the same currency, which clearly is more worth it. 45 pull for 5-star characters, or 10 pull for a 4-star characters, and I think the math just doesn't add up. I think a good amount of the limited characters have good sequence 1-2 that you can consider. Maybe not necessarily Jian because it just lets you cast like your resonance skills one more time, but on other characters that potentially will rerun in the future, maybe there's a strong characters in the future that have good sequence 1 or sequence 2. Those are considerably worth picking up. One of those examples is probably Shangli Yao. His sequence 1 just simply increase you a bunch of damage. I believe it's a 15 to 20% overall damage increase off my head, which is a very good sequence 1. Or you can do like very big quality of life upgrade sequence 1 like Storekeeper, where extend your range by 150%, and they extend the radius apparently, so it's like 2 pi r blah 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 blah. So it's actually like more than 150 is my point. Right? And it's not required, but it's just nice to not have to like play around the thing, and these sequences are considerably worth picking up, especially over Youhu. At the current moment, Youhu doesn't have any meta position. For the most part, she's a strictly worse option than any other alternative out there, including Baiji. Youhu kind of mostly feel the slot of being like a sub DPS healer, and she doesn't do very good at both. Youhu's main functionality is going to be replacing the healer slot in top tier meta team that uses a coordinated attack sub DPS like Shangli Yao followed by Yinlen, or Jian followed by Morphe, or maybe Jinshi followed by Tati. However, in all of these cases, Youhu Ultra simply just doesn't compete with something a basic healer can do, which is like 5G, who provide a 15% bonus damage to the entire team. This is going to be further amplified by the fact that your sub DPS for the most part is going to be carrying the Moonlit 4P set, which means that they might not be as built as your main DPS, so putting damage on your main DPS is just going to be better. But if you're going to be using her on the tower, there's actually even a little bit on top of that. One of the things that people don't realize and don't talk about is this tower buff. The middle tower, for the most part, always have a static buff. It's like the left side and the right side that rotate between elements depending on the feature characters. The middle tower usually just have like a flat 30% attribute bonus buff, but most importantly, it has this healing buff. Every single time you do a healing for your team, you get like a 20% energy regen for 4 seconds, and you increase your crit damage by 30% for 4 seconds. And it requires you to consistently retrigger the heal to proc this effect. And so with dedicated healer like Verena, Shorekeeper, or even Baiji, they're all able to consistently trigger this effect because they constantly heal in the background bits by bit. But with Youhu, they heal all at once at the beginning and very little, she doesn't get this effect. So the gap gets proved even further. Overall, Youhu is just not a very meta character. You can get her for fun, whether that be pulling a couple pull on the banner like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, or buying her right out if you like really don't want to pull or you're really close to the pity. But there's also a team where she's kind of good in, and that is Yinlin main DPS. You can use Storekeeper as a healer, switch to Youhu, who is now your sub DPS, your Moonlit carriers, and she can do a good amount of damage, assuming you hit the right RNG, and then use your Yinlin to do your main DPS. This is obviously a for fun team, just like the Powerpuff Girl team that people are running, which is Encore, Verena, Youhu, who is like 3 short characters. But at the end of the day, having fun is all that matters. So if this team is something that look cool to you, or like your Yinlin main, then I think this would be a pretty good use of Youhu. Otherwise, for meta reason, this is not a character I would recommend. You could like try your hands at the banner a little bit, but don't force it. It's more important that you don't accidentally get a 5-star, since it happened a lot, and ruin your pity, especially since we do have cooler 5-star coming in the horizon, which is Camellia. With that being said, that's pretty much gonna be it for this video. Let me know if it helped you decide if you actually bought her or not. And with that being said, thanks so much for watching. As always, subscribe, comment, like, bye.